So today we're going to go through a dietary habits questionnaire. So this gets a little bit more information about your diet and to further on your goal of weight loss, and we can get to know a bit about your current diet, make some goals to make some changes. So the information that I can give you today as my role as a personal trainer is from the Australian Dietary Guidelines, a guide to healthy eating. So the guidelines are 5 guidelines that us generally as Australians can follow for a healthier diet, without being too tailored and specific to us. So guideline number 1 is, I guess, our main goal is to achieve a healthy weight and maintain that weight by participating in physical exercise and eating healthy foods to meet our daily energy requirements. Guideline 2 is, to further on from that, is to eat a variety of foods from the 5 food groups. So you're probably familiar with the pyramid, with the big section at the bottom going up to the small section at the top. Is now in this pie diagram diagram, which I find is a bit easier to follow, and all the images sort of give you ideas of the things that fall into those groups. So we'll go into that a little bit further, but obviously the 5 food groups are grains, cereals and things, vegetables, fruits, dairy, and other dairy products, and lean meats, seafood, eggs, things like that. Guideline 3 is to limit the intake of pretty much anything that's not in that diagram, and the things that fall down here, so which we refer to as discretionary choices, so sweets, cakes, chocolate, all that junk food. So limit the intake of that, as well as alcohol falls into that category as well. So if you choose to drink alcohol, limit your intake, and obviously don't drink if you're pregnant. Guideline number 4 is to encourage, support and promote breastfeeding. Obviously if you are pregnant or planning to be, understanding I guess the benefits of breastfeeding and the benefits between breastfeeding and formula feeding, and the benefits to both yourself and the baby. And guideline number 5 is to cook, prepare, store your food correctly. So that's storing it refrigerated if it needs to be refrigerated, cooking it thoroughly, washing and handling fruit, veg properly. So that's the 5 guidelines. And as I quickly mentioned, as a personal trainer, I'm not qualified to give really, really personalised, tailored advice in regards to calories and things like that. So if you feel like you need a more tailored meal plan or anything like that, then I can refer you to a dietitian. But I think for your goals, following these guidelines and following the serves per day of each food group is perfect. So I will go through the questionnaire. So this is just going to be asking on average, how many serves per day you eat of each thing, and I'll give you this to look at as well. So on here so you'll be falling into this category, this first box here, 19 to 50 years and women. So that will tell you how many serves per day of each category you need, and it sort of gives you a bit of a rough idea, and also a list here of what one serve is. So for example, let's have a look at where's potatoes. I think so one serve is half a medium potato. So if you see what I mean by that. So just have a look there and see sort of how many serves per day. All right, so today's date is the 2nd. All right, so before we get into the serves per day, do you have, or what is a main dietary goal of yours? Something that you'd like to change about your diet?
Probably to cut out most junk food,
like
takeaway and stuff.
All that kind of stuff.
And try and eat more vegetables.
So you think that your main downfall is probably being unprepared and going for the junk food and things like that. Okay. All right, fair enough. So your main dietary goal is to reduce, so as I said, this is what we refer to as discretionary choices, but also takeaway, things like that fall into that category as well. So make your main dietary goal as reduce / remove all discretionary choices. So apart from the discretionary choices, as a whole, how do you think your diet is?
I think it's okay. It could be better.
Yep.
I try to eat what my mum makes for me, which is really healthy, but sometimes I don't feel like it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the main thing, which I think is really common for a lot of people, is you know how to eat healthy, you know what you should be eating.
Yeah.
And like probably for yourself, you think, you know, oh, mum cooks really healthy food, I should just eat at mum's all the time. But yeah, of course, we choose to go elsewhere. Yeah, exactly. Do you have any dietary requirements? You're not allergic to anything? No. Cool. Easy. All right, so into the serves per day. How many serves of vegetables do you usually eat per day? So, yeah, just in that section there.
Maybe about 3.
Mm-hmm.
3 serves of vegetables per day.
So how would you include the vegetables in your diet?
Well, with leftovers for lunch, they're normally incorporated through my lunch. And then for dinner, mum normally gives us, you know, like sweet potato or like peas or something, like something that can incorporate it.
Okay.
To dinner.
So you're saying that you probably would get 2 serves at night and 1 serve at dinner? Sorry, 1 serve at lunch?
Yeah.
Okay.
And 2 serves at dinner.
Okay. So. Okay. Cool. We'll say that anyway. 2 to 3 serves. How many serves of fruit do you usually eat per day?
I do. I probably have about 2.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's ideal. As you can see here, 2 serves is the goal. How many serves of bread and cereal do you usually eat per day? So that's in this section here, and that also includes rice. It does include rice, pasta, noodles, porridge, obviously cereal, bread.
I'd probably say 2.
Okay. And how would they be?
3. Yesterday for breakfast, I had a piece of toast and I had some cereal. And then with dinner, I had a side of, it was really small, of noodles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of noodles?
They were like just 2-minute ones.
Oh, okay.
2-minute noodles.
Yeah, so that is probably 3.
Yeah.
Again, that's not too bad. What is the? Yeah, so the recommended is 6.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. It's not ideal, as you want to be aiming for around that 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it includes anything from rice, noodles, bread, any kind of cereal.
Yeah.
So if you had toast for breakfast and cereal, that's probably 2. And then even for lunch, if you had like a wrap or a sandwich or something like that, that's another 1. So we'll say 2 to 3. But we can work on increasing that by adding in even snacks and things like that to increase that.
Yeah.
How many serves of dairy do you consume daily? So milk, cheese, yogurt.
I'd had, what happened yesterday? I had 3.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 slices of cheese with my toast,
and
I had a yogurt with lunch.
Okay, so that was 3. All right, so again, it's 2.5, so it's not too bad. And how many serves of meat or alternatives per day? So that includes obviously red meat, chicken, fish, eggs, tuna, but also includes beans, legumes, and things like that.
I hate beans.
Okay, that's cool.
I had for lunch yesterday I had leftover lamb, and then for dinner I had pork. So
you have All right, so we'll just look at the serving size, because I think that's probably something that we often get caught out by. I'm guilty of it as well. Generally, particularly in the lean meat section or in the meat section, our serving sizes tend to be a lot bigger than 1 serving. Yeah, so I mean, I know I could quite easily eat, like a 200-gram steak or more, whereas a cooked Cooked, one serving of cooked meat is 65 grams. So that's like, if you're having a 200-gram steak, that's nearly probably three serves of sorry of meat. So just comparing this to the serving sizes of meat that you would have, do you still think it is? Okay.
That's way bigger.
Yeah. So I think, as I said, I think that's where we can get caught out as well. Is you go, oh yeah, I had a steak and I had a chicken breast.
Yeah.
Whereas roughly a chicken breast can be like up to 500 grams. So whereas again that one serving of chicken is 65 grams. So how many serves of that do you think you have based on those serving sizes?
I don't know, because the lamb was all cut up.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot of lunch yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
So because I only get small portions of lunch, and then I have fruit and yogurt to kind of make me full.
Mm-hmm.
And then the pork last night was really big.
Okay.
So
was it, what kind of pork was it? Roast pork?
it was pork just done in the oven with like a marinade kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that would be.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. I'll say in the 4 to 5 category.
Yeah.
Judging by the serving sizes of the meat. But we'll work on sort of rejigging it all and making it perfect. So that's 2.5. So just here I've just jotted down all the recommended serves for your age group, and obviously being a female, and then we can just compare that to what that says.
Sure.
Onto the discretionary choices. How many do you think you would have per week?
2, I'd say.
Okay. So yeah. And what do you define as 3 or 4? Like meals, or as in like, so for example, one discretionary choice is like 2 scoops of ice cream, half a snack size packet of chips, 2 to 3 sweet biscuits, 1 donut, 25 grams of chocolate, a can of soft drink. So that's like that. They're all one discretionary choice. So for example, if you're going to Macca's for dinner and you're getting a whole meal, that's probably, I would say, maybe even 5 or 6 discretionary choices.
I have a can of soft drink every day.
Okay.
Every day when I get home. That's like my little, little thing in the afternoon. Which I can cut out. I just choose not to.
What kind of soft drink do you have?
Pepsi Max.
Okay. It is low sugar. So it's not as bad. I guess as full sugar soft drink. But yeah, if you can work on getting that out.
Yeah.
So every day, 5 days a week, every day after work, or you have it on the weekends as well?
It's actually probably not every afternoon. It's probably like 3 times a week, 3 times in the afternoon when I just get home late and I want something.
Yeah.
On the weekends I have soft drink as well. So maybe Saturday, Sunday I drink soft drink as well.
Okay. So let's say you have a soft drink 5 times a week, and then anything else added in? You might have a chocolate bar here and there, or ice cream. Okay.
After we went out Saturday night, I had McDonald's.
Yeah.
And then KFC.
Okay.
I had a few to drink. So.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So that's obviously not a regular occurrence that you go out.
No. If it's a normal weekend, we'll probably have Savory maybe once a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're saying at least 5. Let's not include this past weekend because that's obviously not.
Right.
Yeah, that's not an accurate representation of an average week.
Yeah.
But on an average week, let's say you have 5 soft drinks a week. You go and you get a takeaway meal once a week. So that's 6, or that's the meal. I would probably count for a few discretionary choices. So I would say probably 7 to 9 serves per week. Maybe being generous. Yeah. I would even probably lean closer to the 10 plus, just because it depends what kind of meal you get when you go out. So if you went to Macca's, of course, it's going to be a bit different to whether you got takeaway pizza or fish and chips or something like that.
Yeah.
So it can vary, but what we want to work on is getting that down. Yeah. Of course, everyone, we need like little treats here and there, but more so as a reward for, doing really well in your training or whatever, to keep us a little bit sane. But we can work on that. Do you need referral? I don't think so. I think that we can make some strategies and we can really try and get your serving sizes towards the guidelines. And I think you can, like as we said at the start, you know what to do.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just know.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. And it's all about making changes and making it a habit.
Yeah.
It doesn't always come naturally, and it is hard, particularly if you've got a habit of eating, you've got the taste for those sorts of foods, and of course you're going to keep craving them. Whereas, and it is hard to cut it out, but once you can at least cut it back, then you probably aren't going to be craving it as much, and then you can, And then also I find, for me personally, I find when you aren't eating it as much, you're feeling better, you're training better, and you can feel, I can feel I feel a lot of difference when I eat better. It's almost like a bit of more motivation to be like, I don't want to eat crap because it's going to make me feel crap.
Yeah. And I find living at home too, like that's really tricky because I can't say to mum, can you just measure my meals?
Yeah, fair enough.
Just cook yourself.
Yeah.
I'll cook something.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Well, as you said, if you know that your mum mostly cooks quite healthy for you, then just eat as much as you can there, and then preparation is one of the main things. I think a lot of people find, and probably you would find yourself, if you don't have your leftovers from your mum for lunch, you probably go to the food court and grab something quick, and it's probably not going to be as healthy. Which
I normally get a smoothie.
Okay, well that's not too bad. But I'm not going to say, smoothies aren't bad. But just keeping in mind that it's a lot of fruit. So yes, it is healthy. Yes, it's natural sugar, but it's going to automatically take care of that 2 serves of fruit per day. But I'm not saying don't have your smoothies. Just keep those sorts of things in mind.
Sure.
We're going to make some strategies now. Sorry, not going to calculate your BMI, which I've done in the past. So you're 100 and sorry, how much I told you?
161.
I thought so. 95 kilos.
I can't remember. I should have popped up this morning.
I've got your BMI in my folder. That's not right. Right, so I'm just working out your BMI. Alright, so that's a BMI of 35, which is overweight. So as we've been working on in the gym, trying to get your heart rate up, trying to burn some fat and get that down, and then also working in with your with the guidelines and your serving sizes. We'll try and clean up your diet a bit and work on losing some weight. Alright, so I'm going to work out your adjusted body weight. So what we do here is the ideal BMI is 25. So if you have a BMI of over 25, then we work out adjusted body weight, which is your body weight with the BMI of 25, if that makes sense. So I can work that out. That's good. Oopsies. Alright. So I'm going to carry 64. like this, 64.7. Alright, so your adjusted body weight is 71. So that is the figure that I'll be using to sort of calculate all of these figures, which gives me a better idea of the amount of surge you'll be eating per day. Probably a bit confusing, but it all makes sense.
Yeah.
So next, I'm going to calculate your basal metabolic rate. So your basal metabolic rate is the amount of energy that your body requires to live. Like if you were on bed rest and laying in bed all day, that's how much energy your body would be using for bodily functions. So your respiratory, cardiovascular, thermoregulation, all that jazz. So literally, without doing a single thing, this is how much energy your body would use. So, 0.463 times. So your basal metabolic rate, the amount of energy your body would need to do nothing, is 6,438. And then what we do is we times that by a number based on your activity level, so light, moderate, heavy, that kind of thing, to work out your daily energy expenditure. So on average, how much energy you would expend per day through living, doing nothing, plus working out, all that jazz. So I'm going to times it by 1.8 because you live a pretty moderate activity, standing and working on your feet all day, and then when you're coming to the gym. So I'm going to times your basal metabolic rate times 1.8 is it is 11,588 kilojoules per day. Does that make sense? Sort of?
Yeah.
So that's how much energy, how many kilojoules you would burn per day.
Okay.
So what we then work out is how much energy you need to consume to meet that energy requirement. So for a weight loss goal, we always want, you've probably heard of it, calorie deficit, or like sort of understand it. So to lose weight, you always want to be eating less than you're burning.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So obviously eating less calories or kilojoules energy, however you want to put it, than you're expending, so that you obviously are losing weight. So the foundation diet is this, what we were comparing your serving sizes to. The foundation diet, without going into too much detail and confusing the hell out of you, each serving of, so one serve of each food group has a particular kilojoule, kind of average kilojoule allowance. So for example, one serve of vegetables is about 100 kilojoules. So what I've done is added all of the serving sizes up for the foundation diet. So that is this generic serving sizes per day, and that gives us 7,200 kilojoules. So that's way under how many average kilojoules you're burning per day. Is it still making sense? Okay, so that is the foundation diet, which is really broad and average. So then what we can do is add on some kilojoules called the total diet. So that adds on some kilojoules based on your height and your activity level. So because you're active in your job, you're standing, you're walking, you're lifting all day, and you're also you're also active in the gym, then I think I'm comfortable to add on some calories because that is quite low.
Yeah.
And being so active, you're probably going to find you quite hungry all the time.
Yeah.
So what we can do is add on some kilojoules based on, as I said, your height and your activity level. So the total diet, we can add on, I've got it here. So your down here. So women in the 19 to 30 category with moderate activity, 160, that's 2,800 calories. So, sorry, kilojoules. So we can, when we add that on to the 7,200, and we add on, what did I say, 2,800, that takes us to 10,000 kilojoules. So that's sitting about 1,500 kilojoules under your daily energy expenditure. So that's pretty much perfect. I would even, because you have quite a weight loss goal of a few kilos, quite a few kilos, I would even probably take that back to 1,700, which is in the light activity category. But yeah, I think it's still enough. It's still going to be enough food, but it's going to help you to lose weight. So I would add on another 1,700 kilojoules, and then what we can do is work out where we want to add the kilojoules.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Cool.
So I've added here for you, I've added some here. There's no pictures. Oh, there is here, so we can look at these pictures. But we this is the information here. We can add on some another section, the sixth section for some healthy fats. So oils that you cook with, as well as like avocado, things like that. So we can account for some unsaturated fat in your diet as well. So 2 servings of unsaturated fat is 500 kilojoules. So we can add some of that to make sure that that's accounted for. And then to sort of coincide with your current intake, we can add in probably another serve of, meat, because you're already going over the general, the foundation diet. So we're happy to be adding another serve of meat, another couple of serves of veggies, probably another serve of fruit, and adding a serve of starchy vegetables. So I don't know if you noticed in the vegetables section, it doesn't really count for like potato. It does sort of here, potatoes, sweet potatoes, corn, even peas come into that category as well, just because they are higher in kilojoules and higher in energy. So we can account for some of them as well. So that takes your total diet to, did I say, oh, I took it back, no. 7,200 is the foundation, and then we're going to add 1,700. It takes it to 8,900 kilojoules per day. Make sense?
Yeah.
Are you confused?
No, it makes sense.
Cool,
yeah.
Awesome. Good. All right, so now we're going to make some strategies. Does anything come to mind? Anything that you particularly would really like to change about your diet? Add in, take out some strategies towards a healthier diet.
Obviously, I'd like to take out like the fast food, all that kind of stuff.
So you'd like to straight up take it out, get rid of it, don't eat it at all?
Yeah.
Or you want to work at just reducing it?
Probably reduce it.
Okay, so we'll start with that anyway. Start with small attainable goals, because let's be real, if you just go, right, I'm never going to eat, takeaway again, you're probably going to be like, oh my God, it is really hard to quit cold turkey on anything. So fast food included. So we'll work on reducing fast food. And does anything else fall into that category?
Definitely the soft drink.
Okay.
But I don't really eat like chips or anything.
Okay.
Not really in general.
Yeah.
I kind of just. Yeah.
So if you find that you're hungry during the day, what will you go to?
I don't really get hungry.
Okay, well that's good.
Because I start work at 10 o'clock. I have breakfast at about 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't find that I get hungry until about 2.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So when I get hungry at 2.
I guess because you're on the go as well. You're not. Yeah.
And then I'm hungry about 2 o'clock, then I'll go and have my lunch, which I think is a little bit late. Because I have dinner at about 6, 7.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. It might not be too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll eat like whatever I have.
Yeah.
If I didn't bring anything, then I'll go and get like a smoothie or something.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
A smoothie and a sandwich at the shop or something like that.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
All right. So strategy number 1 is reducing the amount of fast food and soft drink intake.
Yeah.
do you want to put a goal on how much or when you would consume it?
Yeah, probably not. Like I would like to decrease how often it is, like how every afternoon I have one, like maybe every like once a week or something.
Okay.
I'd like to decrease it too.
So reducing fast food and soft drink intake to once, or say once, twice a week. So that probably allows for one soft drink, maybe if you're really, really feeling like one, and probably one fast food meal, maybe on a Friday or on the weekend.
Yeah.
So that will already help to cut it back and like I was saying, kind of reduce the taste and the craving for it.
Yeah.
All right. Any other strategies?
Probably increase my vegetable intake. I hate vegetables.
Okay.
So I think I have to get over it.
Yeah.
And just eat them.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so we'll say increase vegetables. But there are so many ways that you can eat vegetables. Do you like to eat salads?
No.
Okay.
I hate salads.
Okay.
I like cauliflower. I love cauliflower.
Yeah.
Pumpkin I love.
Potato,
obviously. Sweet potato I love. I'm not really like into like salads.
Okay.
Like I like cucumber, but I hate like lettuce.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. All right. Well, you will have to experiment.
Yes.
Try different things. Try different combinations. Of course, you can use sauces and condiments and things like that to try and improve the taste. But again, also being mindful that a lot of sauces and things contain a lot of sugar, a lot of dressings contain a lot of fat, things like that. But as long as you're mindful of that and you're aware of that, then that's really good. But anything, in this category, you really want to, try and increase. But having a look, it also includes lentils and chickpeas as well as red kidney beans. So you can add those sorts of things into meals. So for example, I use myself as an example. I make spaghetti bolognese. So you use like lean beef mince, but then I add like a couple of zucchinis, carrot. Sometimes I'll add beans or like chickpeas, red kidney beans or something like that. Then I normally put in like a whole bag of baby spinach, and that wilts down, and then it's full of veggies. And then that's another way of getting the veggies in, as well as you can't really taste them because it's all mixed in with the meat and the sauce and the whatever. So any way that you can get your veggies in to meals like that, I find really good. Particularly if you struggle to eat them, struggle to get them in. Yeah, do that. And the other thing is like, I don't know if you cook your brekkie in the morning ever, but I add veggies into like scrambled eggs, or like make an omelette. Cut up some tomato and some onion. Like I said, baby spinach, chuck it in an omelette. Yeah,
I do that.
Yeah.
If I have a spinach, I normally have just egg and a bit of ham.
Yeah.
But then I do add spinach into it as well, even though I don't like it.
Yeah.
I just put tomato sauce.
Fair enough. All right, so we'll increase veggie intake, and I'll note here as well to experiment and try new things and ways to eat them. All right, another one. We're going to have 5 strategies. Let's have a look at this actually and compare and see where we need to make the changes. I'll actually add in the additional schedules that I put in as well. So that was 2 serves of veg, fruit, 3, main meat. So we want 3.5. Alright, so we'll compare this to, so this is obviously the serves that you're eating per day, and this is what we're aiming for. So 8 serves of veggies, that's obviously one of our goals, is to increase that. 3 serves of fruit, so you're pretty much hitting that. So I'm pretty happy with the fruit. Like you said, you're eating fruit and yogurt for lunch, and you might have fruit for breakfast. When all the time would you have fruit?
Probably not so much for breakfast, but more like if I do get like a smoothie or something, it's in there. But I won't have a smoothie and then go and eat an apple.
Okay.
Because you're getting
You're getting it in your juice.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, breads and cereals was the other one that was quite low, so you're probably only eating half of what you should be. So you're aiming for 6 serves, and you're probably eating maybe 2 to 3.
Yeah.
So have a look at the diagram, and we'll see where we can add in additional serves of those.
Probably could add in.
So let's start with breakfast. What would you have for breakfast usually?
Cereal or toast.
Okay.
Or if I've got eggs in the fridge, I'll do like an omelette. Or some mornings I'll do like bacon and eggs with a bit of toast.
Okay.
Because I like to have something that's filling.
Yeah.
I don't have much till 2.
Yeah.
So I like to be full until then because I can't stop and break.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alright,
so I reckon breakfast is probably the time where you get most of your grain and cereal in.
Yeah.
Let's see where else during the day we can add in the grains. So what would you would usually have leftovers for lunch?
Yeah.
If
I don't, I'll have like Cruskets with like
that's good.
honey or peanut butter or something.
Yep.
Or I'll have most of the time these leftovers, but yes. Or sometimes I'll have like those little like biscuits that you can put ham and cheese on, or something like that. I will have.
Okay. So you really want to work on getting it in regardless of what you're eating. So if you're taking your leftovers, you really want to work on making sure that there is some grains in there anyway, or in your day in general. So adding in grains to your meals is really important. So, but you can do it in any of these forms, if that makes sense. So where's this one? So grain includes 1 slice of bread, half a cup of cooked rice, pasta, noodles, barley, blah, blah, porridge, 2/3 of a cup of cereal flakes, muesli, crisp bread, crumpet, English muffin balls. Gone. So, where else do you think we can add in those particular foods in your day, be it a meal or a snack?
Probably could add muesli and yogurt.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Good idea. Another thing that I just thought of when you said that you don't eat lunch till about 2, I would really recommend having a snack in between. I know you probably don't get a chance to stop, but even if you've got something,
like some nuts or something.
Yeah, some nuts or I would say fruit, but you're probably already hitting your fruit unless you maybe have a larger lunch and have your yogurt and fruit in between.
Yeah.
I think it's probably it would help to sort of sustain you for a bit longer, particularly if you're going from 9 until 2 without eating. I would really work on trying to get that snack in between, and then you can probably have you probably won't need to have such a big lunch because you would have eaten in between. So I would probably work on doing that, but muesli and the yogurt is a good idea. So that would add on 1 serve, so that would probably take you to 4. So we've got 2 more serves. A really easy way to add in grains is rice, if you like rice. I find like it's so easy, particularly if you're being lazy, like I am sometimes. Those microwavable rice cups, that is, I'm pretty sure it's half a cup, maybe it's a full cup. But it's so easy, you just chuck them in the microwave and then you can have it with whatever. So even if you are at your mum's and she's cooked you meat and veggies or whatever, you could just chuck that in the microwave and then that's another set of grains. So easy and really good. So that's another way of adding some grains. What strategy do you think we can make around including some more grains? So we'll say add grains. 1 serve of muesli. So that would take it to 4. So then we've got 2 more serves of grains to add.
1 more.
2 more.
Probably could change like my normal cereal, which is like just like rice bubbles. I don't add any sugary things, just that milk. I'll probably change that to like wheat bix or something.
That's a good idea. Perfect. Alright, so swap 2. mix. Perfect. Something I didn't actually mention is our grains should always, or grains, cereals, things like that should always be whole grains, the whole meal. So avoiding white bread, white pasta, things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, great swap from rice bubbles, which is obviously white puffed rice, to whole meal wheat bix. That's perfect. And then what was? Perhaps adding. I'll put that as a strategy. Add rice cups to main evening meal. That's really easy. And then, do you usually eat anything between lunch and dinner?
No.
Okay. So you're not, obviously because you're not hungry.
No.
Okay.
It's not so much that I'm hungry. It's just I don't like afternoons are normally really busy.
Okay.
So I don't really eat anything. It's when I get home that I'll have a drink of diet.
Yeah.
And then I'll have dinner.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing again, I would always recommend like at least three meals: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and at least 2 snacks. So the in between breakfast and lunch, and then in between lunch and dinner. If you're not hungry, then obviously you can't really avoid it. But I would always recommend it just because it will stop you from feeling like you need to have something else and go for something naughty. So you could perhaps add in a snack in the afternoon and make that a snack of grains. A really easy snack is you mentioned crosscuts. So crosscuts with Vegemite, like Vegemite, or something really easy. Even peanut butter is good, and that adds that serve of unsaturated fat that I was mentioning. But also comes into the lean, the nut section there. And what else was I going to say? Oh, you can also use crosscuts or rice cakes, corn thins, things like that to add on like tuna salad, like tuna and lettuce and cucumber and tomato, whatever. So just any other ideas like that. So I'll add into the grains strategy. Add snack. Crosscuts, rice cakes, etc. Do you like rice cakes?
I love rice cakes.
Cool. Perfect. So if you don't, I know it is tricky at work, particularly working in customer service, and you don't really have somewhere where you can sneak out and have a snack. But just having it behind the desk, and you can have a nibble on it on the go and things like that if you need to.
Sure.
All right. At least one more strategy, if not. So is there something that really stands out for you that you think I really need to change that? I really should be doing this, but I don't, or I can't be bothered, I don't have time.
Probably like meal prep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was sort of trying to get at. Sort of preparing your meals. So
I think it'll be easier when I move out of home because then I won't. I can do my own thing.
Exactly.
My own meals and stuff.
Exactly. And like you were saying, you go to your mum's for dinner and you don't want to be fussy and say, oh mum, I only want this and I don't want that, but I do want this. And that's really hard to really like pick and choose. When she's doing you a favour by cooking for you. So I think meal prep is so important, and I know it's hard. Like you go, oh, I don't want to, I don't want to do it, and exactly. But you've probably heard it before. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. If you don't prepare, anything in life in general, but particularly with food, that's when you fall for going for bad things. So prepping your meals, and then that way as well you get to dinner time and you are tired from the day and you go, oh my god, I can't be cooking, let's just get something crap. Having your meal prep, or at least having an idea of what you're going to have, really helps to take that. I think that's obviously the first step. So which meals would you like to prepare the most? Like would you prefer to take your lunch every day, or have
probably because then that's
easy. All right, so begin to prepare lunches and snacks to take to work. Perfect. All right, that's 4 strategies. I'm really happy with that because I think it covers like all of the discrepancies in the serving sizes, and make some ideas and goals to add in the discrepancies. So meal prep is a big one. Just try and work out what you're going to take for lunch and for your snacks, and really try and get those snacks in. I think that's really important. Adding the grains, adding your muesli to your yogurt, swapping to wheat mix if you can. Adding it probably ties in with the meal prep if you're going to start to prep your dinner as well. But even if you're not, and you go to your mum's, just get some rice cups, those microwavable rice cups, and just microwave it and then just chuck on your plate, and then it's easy. And it's not like you're putting your mum out saying, "Oh, mum, I need to add, I need you to cook me rice," because it's time consuming. It adds something else that she's got to do for you. So I think that's really easy, and adding that snack between lunch and dinner. The main one I think is reducing the fast food and stuff. So I think it all sort of ties in though, and like I said, by starting it and doing it, you want to continue it. And you think, it makes me feel good, or I'm wasting my time, prepping if I'm going to go back to eating junk. So I think they all tie in together, and hopefully by doing the second three, the first one will kind of follow. I think. I don't think, as I said, I don't think at this stage I need to refer you. I think these goals are really good and really simple, and I think it's a good start anyway to getting you to increase that weight loss. And then further down the track, if you think you need some more tailored advice, I can refer you to a dietitian or a nutritionist, and they can help you out. But I think that's a really good start. Cool. All good?
Yep.
Thanks, Darcy.
Thank you.